This is the translated script of Jamal Khashoggi's painful last moments. Recorded audio now leaked to the mainstream media. Provided by Turkish intelligence authorities, the transcript was initially circulated among several countries' key officials, including Turkey, Saudi Arabia, the United States, and the EU. It is now leaked into the mainstream media. The transcript notes the sounds of Khashoggi's body being dismembered by a saw, as perpetrators are advised to listen to music to block out the sound. The transcript suggests one of the perpetrators is updating someone whom Turkish officials say was in Riyadh, with almost step-by-step details of what is taking place. This could be the gist of Trump's administration policy towards the Saudi regime, which was publicly announced just recently. In Riyadh, Saudi officials and regime-sponsored media preferred to keep silent on Trump's remarks, and no official Saudi statement has been issued to deny or condemn Trump's words so far.
Breaking news is a remarkable statement from the President of the United States about Saudi Arabia and the murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The President issuing a statement, covered the White House for 10 years. I've never seen anything like this. A remarkable statement that starts with the headline, America First, and an exclamation point. It goes on to make the case, even though our reporting is they have not had a final CIA report on the circumstances of the death sent to the President. The President defiantly goes on to make the case that no matter what that report says, he will stand by Saudi Arabia and he will resist any calls from Congress for tougher sanctions that he does not think are appropriate.
The regime seems to have discovered the secret of remaining in power despite the disastrous miscalculation it has made on Khashoggi's murder. In contrast to Riyadh, those in Washington are happy to assert the Saudi regime's pivotal role in protecting Israel's interests. At the end of the day, over the past 2 years, an undeclared normalization process between the House of Saud and the Israeli regime has been pursued in secret and in full force. On one side, the Saudi royal boy was keen to guarantee his place on the throne at any cost, even blaming Palestinians for their struggle against occupiers. And on the other side, Khashoggi's murder was not worth it to jeopardize the alignments between the two regimes. It is now revealed that Trump's undiplomatic remarks were just an echo of Tel Aviv voices in backing MBS in the Khashoggi scandal, and the US president's all-out effort to deflect international criticism completes the definition of Tel Aviv's role. For over a month after Khashoggi's disappearance inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, the Israeli regime was conspicuously silent. However, evidence now confirms that Netanyahu was tirelessly acting as Mohammed bin Salman's friend in need. But why is Israel throwing a lifeline to the Saudi killer?
He's serving the purpose of the Israelis and the Americans in a way the Americans and Israelis cannot do directly. So they have to come out in support of him.
The Zionist regime is busy right at the middle of a broad and carefully constructed regional strategy, pushing the region to accept the so-called deal of the century, aimed at forging a de facto alliance with the Middle East's new generation of dictators and coerce Palestinians into accepting to give up their homeland entirely. This strategy is mainly built around the Saudi arrogant crown prince.
He's promoting and pushing the Kushner plan of this so-called deal of the century, which will, according to some people, according to what I understand, it will decimate the Palestine cause if it is allowed to succeed by removing Jerusalem from the equation and giving the Palestinians some pointless, dot in the desert like Abu Dis as their capital, and throw many of them into Sinai, and just generally, formalize the destruction of the Palestine state, which was started by the British back in 1917 with the Balfour Declaration, of course. As the Israelis come out in support of MBS, on the ground in places like so-called Saudi Arabia, in the occupied Arabian Peninsula, in the various other Arab countries, the legitimacy of people like MBS will reduce further, because people will begin to realize that even the most politically apathetic people will begin to realize that, hold on a minute, the Israelis are coming to defend this guy. Therefore, this guy can't really be working in our best interest. He must be working for something other than this. So it's self-defeating for Netanyahu to do that. But of course, this is the nature of how they operate. And of course, they have this hope that somehow all of this Khashoggi and Yemen and all of these blunders and catastrophic mistakes made by MBS will be forgotten and will just sort of disappear into the ether.
But it was not just the Israeli political figures who threw their weight behind bin Salman. Israeli mainstream media also propagated information to discredit Khashoggi and his supporters across the globe. Evidence also suggests that Israelis' role in Khashoggi's murder was not restricted to provide instructions to spread false information. Newly revealed information suggests that bin Salman's kill team used Israeli advanced cybersecurity software to track and spy on Khashoggi. The Pegasus software, developed by the Israeli firm the NSO Group and its subsidiary Q Cyber Technologies, helped bin Salman's team to keep track of Khashoggi's email correspondence and another political exile named Omar Abdulaziz, who now resides in Canada.
Well, the Israelis, we know, are very, very strong when it comes to cybersecurity and cyber espionage. So it's not surprising that they are supporting the Saudis in these nefarious activities. Of course, we know that one of the colleagues of Mr. Khashoggi had his phone compromised, and as a result, they knew all of the plans of Mr. Khashoggi and were able to ultimately murder him.
Abdulaziz and Khashoggi attempted to engage social media users against bin Salman, which made them a target for the Saudi crown prince. Q Cyber Technologies promised the Saudis access to 6 countries in the Middle East and provided them with direct technical support while using the spy software.